Welcome to second PUC Business Studies classes. I hope you're all safe at your home. We are dealing with first chapter, that is nature and significance of management. In the last two sessions, we already discussed about nature of management, in the sense meaning of management, characteristics of management, importance of management, objectives of management and nature of management. In the sense management as an art, management as a science, management as a profession, and management is both art and science. In today's session, we will discuss about levels of management and functions of management, and one more concept, coordination. Its meaning, its definition, importance and its characteristics. Let us start our class with levels of management. So levels of management, in the sense there are various levels in the management. Generally, there are three levels in the hierarchy of an organization, namely top level management, middle level management and supervisory, or it is also called as operational level management or lower level management. So totally we are having three levels: top management, middle management and operational or supervisory management. Let us discuss one by one: top management, middle management and supervisory management. Let us start with top management. Top management consists of senior most executives of the organization. The name itself says senior most executives of the organization. In the sense, it may be chairman or CEO or president or board of directors, MD. CEO, in a sense, you all know, chief executive officers. So the president, chief executive officers, and president, vice president, board of directors and managing directors. So it will consist of senior most executives of the organization. And then what are the tasks performed by this top level management? All kinds of organizational goals and all kinds of organizational plans and policies, strategies are framed by these top level management. All kinds of organizational plans are framed by top level management, and they are responsible for overall business activity and its impact on society. Either it may be positive impact or it may be negative impact. Totally for all the impact of business, these top level managers are held responsible, and they are responsible for the growth and survival of the organization. Every organization is established in order to have survived for a long period of time. They have to survive for a long period of time. So the survival and growth of organization is measured by this top level management. And whether the top management job is easy or a complex one, of course it is a toughest task. It is a complex one and it is more stressful, demanding more hours of work and demanding commitment to the organization, because they are senior most members of the organization. They have to frame policies, they have to frame plans, they have to frame all the organizational goals. So their task is not so easy. Their task is toughest one and a complex one and a stressful one. This is regarding the top management. Hope you understood about top management. And the next level is middle level management. So the next is middle level management. The name itself says, see, middle level management. In the middle, in the level hierarchy of levels, they are in the middle. They are linked between both top management as well as to the supervisory management. They are the link between top management and supervisory management. They are superiors to the supervisory management and they are subordinate to the top management. They are superiors to the supervisory management and subordinate to the top management. Now, who are all there in this middle management? Namely, it may be production manager, finance manager, marketing manager. All kinds of managers will be present in the middle level management. So, what is the task performed by this middle level management? The main task is they have to implement the plan which is already framed by top management. As I already said, the plans and goals are framed by top management. The implementation of such plans are conducted or done by this middle management. Their main task is to implement the plan which is already framed by the top management. It is regarding middle level management. Sometimes they can take their own decision regarding their department only. For example, production manager can take their own decision regarding the production of the product, but with the permission of those top level management. They have to work as per the guidelines given by the top management. And the next one, last one, supervisory or lower level management. Supervisory or lower level management. It is also called as lower level management. Supervisory, operational or lower level management. Now, what is this lower level management or supervisory management? Who are there in this supervisory management? Mainly, there are supervisors. The name itself says supervisory management. All kinds of supervisors, inspectors and workers will be present at this supervisory management. Now, they have to follow the instructions which is given by this middle level management. Now, the quality of output is maintained by this supervisory management, because supervisors directly oversee the work done by the workers, directly oversee the efforts which is done by these workers, because actual work is done under this supervisory management, because all kinds of workers are present in this supervisory management. Actual work is done under this supervisory management. So now, who will be responsible for the quantity and quality of the output? Of course, it is supervisory management will be held responsible for the quantity and quality of output in the organization. They are actually working. Now, the supervisor's role is important in this situation, because he will issue directions from middle level management and pass on those instructions to the actual working force. There should be minimum wastage and maximum output in the department. As you know, optimum utilization of resources. What do you mean by optimum utilization of resources? In the sense, there should be minimum wastage and maximum output in the department. Now, the quality is maintained, or the quality is dependent upon whom? The quality is dependent upon workers, their loyalty, their commitment to the job, their discipline in the organization. Actual quality is maintained by this lower level management or actual workforce. This is regarding the levels of management. So, normally we are having top management, middle management and supervisory management. In each management, there will be a specialist like chairman in the top management and all kinds of managers in the middle management and supervisors in the supervisors and workers in the supervisory management, or it is also called as operational management or lower level management. These are all the levels of management. It may be asked for practical oriented question. 5 marks question will be asked from this topic. Explain the levels of management. At that time, you have to draw this diagram and write the proportion or write the topics in that situation, right? It is asked for practical oriented question. This is regarding the levels of management in the organization, right? The next topic is functions of management. What are the functions of management? Yes, now we discussed about levels of management. The next topic is functions of management. Very important throughout your life or throughout your education system, right? Functions of management. Normally, there are 5 functions in the management, namely planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. There are 5 functions in the management: planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. All will ends with ing. To remember easily, you can think that all are ending with ing form: planning, ing, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. Now we will discuss one by one. First of all, we will discuss about planning. What do you mean by planning? We all know what is planning. Planning means we are doing some plans for our future purpose, right? Planning means thinking in advance or deciding in advance what to do, how to do, when to do, where to do. It is called as planning. Thinking in advance or deciding in advance regarding the future course of action. It is called as planning. Thinking in advance or deciding in advance what to do, how to do, where to do, when to do. So, totally we are thinking regarding the future course of action. This is called as planning. So it is the first and primary function of management. Always the primary function of management is planning. Now, we cannot prevent problems. In any situation, we cannot prevent problems, but we can predict those problems, right? We cannot prevent, but we can predict the problems. How we can predict the problem? By implementing or by seeing alternative plans for such a situation, we can predict those problems. For example, in order to give example, the happening of natural calamities like tsunami. Can we prevent those tsunami? No, we can't prevent those tsunami, but we can predict it. How we can predict? By developing alternative plans for such situation as and when they occur, by shifting the people from that particular area to some other safest zone, some other safest area. We can predict it, but we cannot prevent it. So planning is characterized as planning cannot prevent the problem, but we can predict the problem by developing alternative plans for that situation as and when they occur. This is regarding planning, and so many types of plans are there. For example, single use plan we are using for only one period of time or for 1 year, and standing plan we are using regularly, recurring in nature and non-recurring in nature. That is planning, single use plan, standing plan. So many types are there. So you are having separate chapter with each topic, that is planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. You are having separate chapters regarding each topic in the next sessions. So next function is organization, organizing. So hope you are clear with this planning, thinking in advance or deciding in advance regarding the future course of action. Got it? And the next one, organizing. The second function of management is organizing. See here carefully, we should not tell it as organization. Why? Because organization in the sense what? Organization in the sense company. It's a company, but we are not telling about this company. We are telling here function of management, organizing. There will be a lot of difference between organization and organizing. What do you mean by organizing? Organizing means assigning duties, grouping tasks, establishing authority and allocating resources required to carry out a specific plan, because already plans are done under this planning stage. Got it? Already plans are done under planning stage. Now we have to implement those plans. For the implementation, we require so many resources. We require so many establishing authority relationship. So, organizing means assigning duties, grouping tasks. We have to group the task as a organization. We are having so many departments, we are having so many work. All the works are divided into small tasks. Those division or dividing the activity into small tasks is called as organizing. Assigning duties, grouping the task, establishing authority relationship and allocating the resources required to carry out a particular task. This is called organizing. And the next one is, the third function of management is its staffing. We all know what is staffing. We are all the staff of Vivekananda PU College. What is staff? Staff means staffing, means finding right people for the right job at the right time and at the right place. Got it? Staffing means finding right people for the right job at the right place and at the right time. It is called as staffing. So staffing is also called as human resource function. Staffing is also called as human resource function. Got it clear? Staffing means putting right people for the right job. We have to put qualified people for the post, right? Otherwise our quality will get down. So staffing means finding the right people for the right job. There are so many procedures in staffing. It may be recruitment or selection or placement and training, performance appraisal or putting higher position, career opportunity and growth, and then compensation. So many steps are there under staffing. Got it? So here selection is different, recruitment is different. I think you know the meaning of differences between these selection and recruitment. Selection means finally selecting the right candidate, but recruitment in the sense what? Calling for the qualified applicants, calling for the prospective applicants or calling for the qualified applicant is called as recruitment, but selection in the sense finally we are selecting the right people from those pool of application. This will come under staffing process. You are having in the next chapter, you are having in detail with this staffing chapter. Now, how the staff should be there in the organization? Always the organization must be sufficiently staffed. Sufficiently staffed in the sense what? There should not be understaffed or there should not be overstaffed. Always our organization must be sufficiently staffed. Sufficiently staffed in the sense there should not be understaffed or there should not be overstaffed. Understaffed in the sense what? Suppose a company requires 10 workmen, 10 employees, but the company is employing only 9 employees, then it may be called as understaffing. Then what do you mean by overstaffing? Overstaffing in the sense, suppose the organization needs 10 workers, but they are appointing 12 workers, then it is called as overstaffing. But that should not be happen. There should be optimally staffed, sufficiently staffed. There should not be understaffed or there should not be any overstaffed. This is regarding the third function, staffing: planning, organizing and staffing. And the next one, directing. You are familiar with this, right? Directing. What is directing? It means leading, influencing and motivating the people in order to perform their assigned task. Directing in the sense leading, influencing, motivating the people in order to perform their assigned task. For example, if you want example, I can give one example. Film director. Film director will direct his artist how to act in a film, right? Film director will direct his artist how to behave in a film or how to act in a film. It is called as direction or directing, leading the people, leading the employees, influencing the employees and motivating the employees to perform a assigned task. When the task is assigned, the task is already assigned under organizing stage, right? Assigning duties, grouping the task. Already task is assigned under organizing stage. Now the director will give direction how to do that particular assigned task. It is called as directing. Now there are 4 elements in the directing, namely supervision, motivation, leadership and communication. Yes, we are telling about directing. There are 4 elements in the directing: supervision, motivation, leadership and communication. Now what is supervision? Supervision in a sense what? I already told, under supervisory management or supervisors, what are the tasks? Overseeing the work done by those subordinate. Supervision. Motivation. Motivation in the sense what? Motivating the employees, giving encouragement to the employees to perform their assigned task. Supervision, motivation and leadership. However, you know, in our college we are having leader, president. What is that leadership, or who is a leader? Leader is a person, one who knows the way, goes the way and shows the way. Always he is a leader. He must know his way. He must go in his way and then he can direct his subordinate. He can show route to the subordinate. Leadership. And finally, communication. What is communication? We are interacting with each other. Communication, passing ideas or passing thoughts, or we are talking each other. It is called as communication. These are all the elements of directing. So directing in the sense what? It is a leading, influencing, motivating the people to perform the assigned task. It is called directing. It is a 4th function of management. And finally, we are having controlling. Last function of management is controlling. Planning, organizing, staffing, directing and finally we are having controlling. So what is controlling? Each and every organization, they require control, right? They require control over employees. They require control over machinery. They require control over production activities. Each and every stage we require control. Now what is this controlling? Controlling means setting performance standard. They have to set a performance standard and they have to evaluate the actual performance. After evaluation, they have to compare the actual performance with the standard performance, and then they have to find out the deviation. If there is any deviation between the standard performance and actual performance, they have to find out the deviation, and finally they have to take corrective action. It is called as controlling. So I'll explain again. Controlling in the sense setting performance standard. For example, it may be the standard performance will be 10 units per day. One employee have to complete or have to finish 10 units per day. It is called as standard performance. So 10 units per day per employee. It is a standard performance. Now they have to see the actual performance. At the end of that day, you have to see how many units are done by that particular employee. It may be take it as 8 units. He completed only 8 units per day. Actually the standard performance is 9 units per day, but he is completed only 8 units per day. It is actual performance. And the third step, they have to compare the standard performance with the actual performance. They have to compare the standard performance with the actual performance. Now they are comparing the standards with the actual, and then they have to find out the deviation. What is the deviation here? Here 2 units will be the deviation. So they are getting 2 units of deviation. So under this deviation there may be 0 deviation, positive deviation or negative deviation. 0 deviation in the sense there is no any changes in the standard performance and actual performance. Positive deviation in the sense the actual performance is more than the standard performance, and negative deviation in the sense the actual performance is less than the standard performance. Here they find out deviation. They have to find out the deviation. What is the deviation here? Negative deviation, because their standard performance is 10 units but actually they did only 8 units. So 2 units are the deviation, negative deviation. And finally they have to take corrective action. They have to take corrective action. Why they have to take corrective action? Because their standard performance was 10 units but they completed only 8 units. Now they have to further encourage employees to reach those targets. It is called as corrective action. They have to take corrective action in order to reach their standard performance. So controlling in the sense setting standards, performance standards, and evaluating the actual performance, comparing the actual performance with the standard performance, finding out the deviation, and finally they have to take the corrective action in order to reach organization standard, in order to reach the standard performance. This is regarding the functions of management: planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. They are all the 5 functions of management. You will see in detail with chapters. For each topic you are having separate chapters in the coming sessions. But this is regarding the functions of management. So the last topic under first chapter is coordination, a small topic. You will study here meaning, definition, characteristics and importance of coordination. Now we will see about what is coordination. So coordination is regarded as the essence of management. What do you mean by essence? Essence in the sense essential. Adu beke beku, essential. So coordination is essential in the organization. In each and every company they require coordination among each department as well as coordination among the workers. Now we see the exact meaning of coordination. Coordination is the process whereby a manager synchronizes the activities of different departments. It is a process whereby the manager synchronizes, in the sense integrates the efforts of different departments, because in order to reach our organizational objective, in order to attain our or in order to achieve our organizational objective, we require coordination among different departments. So this is done by the manager. So it is a process whereby a manager synchronizes discuss the activities of different department in order to achieve the organizational objective. It is the exact meaning of coordination. Now we will see the definition of coordination. It may be asked for 2 marks in the examination. Define coordination will be asked like this. Define coordination for 2 marks. So what is the definition of coordination? Coordination is the process whereby an executive develops an orderly pattern of group efforts among his subordinates and secures unity of action in the pursuit of common purpose. As I already told, in the pursuit of common purpose in the sense common organizational objective. A manager's effort is directed towards the attainment of common organizational objective, and this definition is given by Macfarlane. The definition is given by Macfarlane. So study this definition carefully. It is regarding the meaning and definition of coordination. Coordination in the sense, hondanike. In company, we require some sort of coordination. It is essential, it is important, it is the essence of management. Next, what are the characteristics of coordination? What are the characteristics of coordination? Coordination integrates group effort. Integrates group effort in the sense what? A common focus is directed towards the achievement of organizational objective. A common focus is directed towards the achievement of organizational goals, achievement of group efforts. We are joining for the organization as an individual, but once we join to the organization, we have to work as a group. We have to follow the group work. It is what? Coordination integrates group effort. And next, second characteristics or second feature. As I tell, organization in the sense what? It is a company. Organization means company. So coordination ensures unity of action. What is that unity of action? We require unity among us. In a company or in an organization, in a middle management, right, there may be separate departments, production department, marketing department, selling department, accounting department. There may be so many departments in the company. Now they have to act as a unity among them. Each department have to coordinate with each other. Production, for example, production department requires the coordination of sales department. Why? Because the sales department personnel will go to the market and sell the product, and they will ensure the demand in the market, and they will pass those instructions to the production department. What are the demand in the market? How the product is sold out in the market. So as per the information collected by the sales department, the production department have to produce the product. So there will be a requirement of unity. Coordination ensures the unity of action. And the third one, coordination is a continuous process. The name itself says, what is continuous? Never ending, continuous. From the beginning of the company or from the formation of a company. In your first few business studies, you already studied about formation of a company, right? From the formation of a company till the winding up of a company, we require coordination. From the formation till the winding up of a company, we require coordination. Or from the planning function till the controlling function, we require coordination. From planning stage till the controlling stage, we require coordination. So it is a continuous process. And the next one, coordination is an all-pervasive function. What is that all-pervasive? Coordination is an all-pervasive function in the sense coordination exists in each and every level of management. As we already discussed, there may be 3 levels in the organization: top level, middle level and lower level. In each and every department, we require coordination. It is all pervasive function. It is an implicit one, not the explicit. Implicit in the sense what? We cannot separate those coordination from the working of the company. Explicit in the sense what? We can separate, but coordination is a implicit one. We cannot change that coordination from a unit of action. Got it? So coordination is an all-pervasive function required at all the levels of management. And the next one, coordination is a responsibility of all managers What is that? It is a responsibility of all managers. In the sense, top manager have to coordinate with which management? Middle management. And middle management have to coordinate with top management as well as with the lower management. And the lower management, they have to coordinate with middle management as well as with the top management. So coordination is a responsibility of all managers. Everyone have to coordinate in the company in order to achieve their target, or for the smooth running of a company, every manager is responsible. And the last one, coordination is a deliberate function. It is the process whereby the manager integrates, or the manager gives direction in the conscious and deliberate manner. The manager have to give direction to the employees in a conscious and deliberate manner. They require each other. For the successful running of a company, they require each other. Coordination is a deliberate function. These are all the characteristics of coordination, or it is also called as features of coordination. Important for 8 marks, characteristics of coordination. The question may be like this: define coordination, explain the characteristics of coordination. Then you have to write the definition and you have to explain these characteristics of coordination. Now the next topic is importance of coordination. Now the last topic in the first chapter, that is importance of coordination. What are the importance of coordination, or why we require coordination? Why we require coordination? Because in the company or in an organization, each department is interdependent. They are not independent, they are interdependent each other. For example, sales department have to depend upon marketing department, production department have to depend upon sales department, and each and every department is interdependent. For that purpose we require coordination, because they are not independent, they are dependent each other. At the time of dependent we require, of course, coordination. What are the importance of coordination? First one, growth in size. What is that growth in size? As an organization grow in size, the number of people employed by that particular organization will also increases. As the size of the organization increases, the number of employees or the number of people appointed by that company will also increases. At that time, what will be the problem? There may be differences in their approaches. Different individuals will have their different habits, different way of doing the work, different way of responding to the situation. There may be differences in each and every individual. Now the topic, or now the task of manager to integrate those differences, and they have to give focus towards the achievement of organizational objective. Individual focus is converted into organizational focus or organizational goal. That is what growth in size. As a organization grow, the number of employees will also increases. At that time there may be differences in their opinion, but the manager have to coordinate with their differences in opinion. He have to get coordination with them. Growth in size. And the next one, functional differentiation. What is that functional differentiation? We divided the whole work into manageable functions, right? We divided the whole work into manageable functions. Production department, sales department, marketing department, manageable functions. They require coordination among each other. All the departments will require coordination among each other. So by that they can successfully complete their assigned task. For that purpose, for the smooth working of a company, we require coordination. For the smooth or the successful running of a company, we require coordination. Functional differentiation. Different departments need to coordinate with each other. And the last one, specialization. You have heard this word, specialization. Modern organizations are highly characterized by this specialization. Each and every day we require change. New product, we want stylish product, we want new product. Specialization. Every organization is characterized by high degree of specialization. For that purpose, what the company will do? They have to appoint the specialist for the innovation, right? The company have to appoint a specialist. But what they will do? The specialists think that they are the supreme over that company. They know each and every point regarding their particular area of specialization. They know that they know everything in their particular field. Now what happens? They're not ready to accept suggestion from others. They're not ready to accept any advice from others. At that time what will happen? There may be conflict among the specialists, and there may be conflict among the specialists as well as with the managers or as well as with the individuals. Why? Because specialists are not ready to accept our advice. They're not ready to accept our suggestion. They think that they only know everything, like that. So specialization, in the sense, at that time there may be happening of some conflict among the workers and managers. At that time the manager have to bring coordination in the company, because in order to achieve our goal, ultimately we require coordination. If we are in the coordinated manner, then only we can achieve our organizational objective. These are all the importance of coordination: growth insights, functional differentiation and specialization. By this we conclude the first chapter, that is nature and significance of management. Your second chapter will be principles of management. Thank you.